And joining us now, he is Mike Davis, founder and president of the Internet Accountability Project. Mike, welcome back. Always great to be with you. A lot to get to today, but first, as we heard from Owen, the House passed the Women's Health Protection Act, as well as a bill to protect women who cross state lines for abortions. I'd like to get your reaction and what you think this all signals.
Well, I mean, I think it shows that Planned Parenthood and the abortion industry has a lot of control over the Democrat Party. The abortion industry makes its money off of killing unborn babies, and it gives its proceeds to Democrat campaigns and causes. And before, you had five left-wing judges on the Supreme Court for 49 years coddling the abortion industry, and that just ended. So they need to find new ways to coddle the abortion industry. The abortion industry is telling these Democrat politicians in D.C. to jump, and their response is, how high?
Yeah, and Mike, there's also a push by Democrats to codify same-sex marriage with the Respect for Marriage Act, which would, in part, consider marriage valid under federal law if it was legal in the state where the people were married. It would also repeal the Defense of Marriage Act, which was signed into law by President Bill Clinton, a Democrat, of course. Your thoughts?
This is purely a scare tactic by the abortion industry. The abortion industry knows that there's not support for abortion on demand up until the moment of birth. And so what they're trying to do is bring in these straw man arguments like gay marriage. There are not 5 votes on the Supreme Court to overturn Obergefell.
Yeah, and speaking of the court, in the wake of the Dobbs decision, pro-abortion advocates, they've really been very vocal about their disapproval of the justices. In fact, as we mentioned, just today, more than a dozen House Democrats were arrested at a pro-abortion rally protesting the Supreme Court's decision. That said, let's talk about this backlash that the justices are facing and also the importance of lifetime appointments and protected pay.
Yeah, under our Constitution, federal judges, including Supreme Court justices, don't run for office. They're appointed. They're appointed for life, so they don't have to worry about their next job, and they're pay protected, so they don't have to worry about Congress cutting their pay if they make an unpopular decision. The founders intended for the federal judiciary to be unpopular. That's why it put these protections in the Constitution. Just think, Brown versus Board of Education, when it was decided more than 50 years ago, was not popular, but they did the right thing.
Yeah, I want to switch gears here, Mike. I want to talk now about the American Innovation and Choice Online Act. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and how this bill can protect freedom online? I understand it's going up for a vote soon.
Yeah, so the trillion-dollar big tech monopolists, Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Apple, have too much power in this country, and they use that power to crush competition, shutter small businesses, and cancel conservatives and others with whom that they disagree. What this bill does, S2992, is it finally breaks up big tech's gatekeeping power over information and commerce. They have too much power, and there is a rare closing bipartisan window of opportunity this summer to finally do something about this. And Republicans and Democrats need to come together and finally do something about this. The time for talk is over. It's time to actually do something.
Yeah, speaking of big tech, as we all know, Twitter is suing Elon Musk over his revoked $44 billion bid to buy the platform. And now it looks like the case will be going to trial in October. How do you see this all playing out?
Well, I think Elon Musk is a good person for trying to do what he tried to do. Obviously, Twitter, he thought Twitter was misrepresenting the value of its company. But besides all this, we should not have to rely on a benevolent billionaire like Elon Musk to enjoy free speech rights online in this country. This is why we must break up big tech. Google owns YouTube. Facebook owns Instagram and WhatsApp. They have too much control. We saw when Parler tried to compete against Twitter, Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Apple colluded to kill Parler, kick it out of the App Store duopoly, and kick it off the internet. We have to break up big tech if we want free speech online.
And we are running out of time, Mike, but before I let you go, curious what else you're following.
There's a lot going on in Washington, D.C. right now. I think that the Attorney General needs to be held accountable for allowing these intimidation campaigns at Supreme Court justices' homes. They're facing death threats, being removed from their homes. Justice Kavanaugh and his family faced an assassination attempt. This amnesty by the Attorney General, this is unacceptable, and House Republicans should impeach him in January when they take control.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. Mike, thanks so much for your analysis. Always appreciate it.
Thank you.